Alright, cool. Hi, I'm ColonelFatso, and this is Mega Man X Buster Only. You can see that I've actually disabled the weapon swap buttons. That's just to make sure I don't accidentally hit one. And I'm going to be starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so this run is a little bit different from your standard Mega Man X any% run. A lot of even the most basic things in the any% run tend to use a lot of weapon use, and I don't have access to any of that, so some of the some of the solutions that I had to come up to those problems are pretty interesting. We'll try and note them as they come by. Whoops, I've already taken a hit because my mashing is bad right now. This intro bit here and the first stage after that are going to be completely identical to the any% run, so I don't know, it's just mash a lot, ride some cars if I can manage to, and I'm getting my health down because I want to be at or below 3 HP for the Vile fight, which is coming up at the very end. He's gonna trap me when I have 3 HP or less, and that's the trigger for the stage to end, so... Here I'm gonna try a thing called Task Cars coming up really quick here. Whoops! Had to dodge an HP there. Basically, I've just damaged these guys so that I can just kill them with a single lemon each. Later... Oh! I had to, improvise a little bit there to not fail. Basically, what you want to do is line up those cars so that you can walk all the way across them like a bit of a bridge. But I failed. And almost died. Thankfully, that's over. Now I gotta wait for this airship to go all the way across the screen. Got kind of unlucky there. It doesn't really matter. So Vile is invincible right now. You can't kill him, so I just want to get captured as quickly as possible. Alright, so, you can't read the text because it's Japanese, but basically Zero's just telling me that I'm not strong enough yet, but I can become stronger. There's a lot of collectibles in this game. I'm going to be skipping most of them, but I will be picking up 3 HP upgrades, which is going to give me enough HP to comfortably survive some of the things that get thrown at me in the later stages of the game. Alright. So, this penguin stage is also identical to the normal game. About halfway through the stage I'm going to get the dash boots, and then it's going to pick up a little bit. Like, the speed is going to pick up. And also, when I'm shooting a normal lemon from the Buster, if I'm dashing, one of the up to 3 you can have on the screen at once is going to be a double damage lemon. And you'll see me use that against bosses a lot in this run. Alright. So my movement's been a little bit shaky in the beginning of this run. Hopefully that won't carry on into the rest of it. But... Anyway, so I got the dash now, and so I'm going to speed up quite a bit. I don't know, something to talk about while I'm doing this section that I've done a million times before. You see me turn around and do a little jump up there. That's called a slope jump. Whenever you're walking down, but not dashing down, whenever you're walking down a slope, then your jump height is increased and your movement speed is also increased. And if you jump, like, you keep your increased movement speed. So I was using that a little bit while I was stuck without the boots in order to go faster. Here you'll see I've got bad luck so far. Here we go. I'm going to try a thing. Alright. That's a strat that's actually named after the boss of the Mega Man X2 intro. Whoops. Called CFO. And all it's doing is you shoot a lemon from far away and begin charging immediately. And you get close so that at the end of the charge, you're a little bit closer to the boss. And so it's almost as though you saved a little bit of time on the charge. And you can do more damage that way than normally. Alright, so I can take the bosses in whatever order I want, because this is a Buster-only run, so weaknesses don't matter. I picked this order, number 1, because I want to get Armadillo out of the way right away, because he can roll for as long as he wants at the very beginning of the fight. And also, I used to do some strategies that were more luck-dependent in terms of actually getting hits in the first place. And then beyond that, there are one or two stage effects that are important in this game. You want to kill Penguin before going to Mammoth, because that'll chill out the the lava that's in that stage. And then also you want to kill Eagle before going to Mandrill, because that will turn off the generator. None of the other stage effects really matter. And then, so beyond that, I also optimized for fewest stage select inputs. You saw that I grabbed my first heart of 3. I'll be grabbing hearts in Kawanger and also in Mandrill as well. Those are the 3 quickest hearts to get. Here... Alright, so I'm gonna be abusing Armadillo's AI here. If Armadillo blocks a charge shot, he'll do like this charge thing, and he'll become vulnerable. Whoops, okay. He becomes vulnerable while he's doing the actual shot. So this is a slow way to do the fight, but it's incredibly reliable. So I'm just going to do that right here. It's also really funny to watch. Alright, so you see, like... in the Buster fight, like, he can become invincible anytime he wants, for as long as he wants. So that's why I do him first, or second, I guess, after the mandatory Penguin first. So Eagle is a stage that's not super different from the any % run. What's mostly different is just a couple ways of doing strats that I already do normally. For example, there, I'd use C-Sting, and it would be less leggy. Alright, and here I would be killing these guys, but I have to actually damage boost off them. Whoops. Alright, pretty ho-hum stage. From here on out, it may as well be a 100% run, because I'm going to be doing the Buster fight like the 100% run does. Making sure that I don't accidentally grab that HP. Watching a full, like a large HP tick up completely is about 32 frames, I think. So it's more than half a second that you lose just watching your health fill up when you don't really need it. Alright, so Dive Monster is diving. If he does more than one dive, then he can do anywhere between 6 and 9. That was 7. So, like, he'll either come down immediately after one dive, or he'll do at least 6 and no more than 9 before coming down again. So that was pretty rough luck, but it was, like, still better than the splits I'm running against, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is Boomer Kroanger stage. This is a stage that's, again, mostly similar to the any % run, just because it is so early in the run, so you don't have as many weapons. I'm going to try the best strat in the game here real quick. Nope, okay. Managed the back up decently, though. You can actually get up on that right side, and it's incredibly difficult, but feels really satisfying when you nail it. Alright. So here, this is exactly the same as any other Mega Man X run. You're just doing deboosts at critical times and just getting around the things otherwise. Yeah. This elevator, there's a way to skip this elevator, but it involves climbing all the way up and then dying. So it's only like half a second faster in a task setting, and not at all faster in RTA. So we just wait out the elevator. Here, there's like only one thing that I'm going to be doing different from an any % run. One kill. Whoops. One kill that I do with Buster instead of Ice. Right here. And then the climb, like, the inside portion of the climb is going to be a little different. Here I'm going to do Iceless. Or I'm going to not do Iceless. Alright. There's your one little 100% cameo. Here, I wait deliberately to get my charge so that I don't have to worry about taking hits or anything like that. That was an okay Kroanger stage. So now the fight is going to be the same as always. You just want to get close, jump over him every time that he comes in to dash at you, and keep the dance going as long as you can. I guess one thing to talk about while he's doing those teleports, he teleports like he disappears and then reappears, but he's actually moving at the same speed as he normally moves when he does that, so you can predict where he's going to pop out just by how long he's waiting. Alright, so next I'm going to be doing Flame Mammoth. This is a stage that I would normally do last in RTA attempts of Mega Man X any %, but just because of the stage select order, it works out that this guy is kind of in the middle of the Mavericks. It's a pretty simple stage and a pretty simple fight. I won't be doing much out of the ordinary here. You can get a zip off of that guy if it's an Uroboros head, so like one of the snake heads. Oops. But like the actual motions to get up there, you have to maintain a charge while climbing, which slows down your movement, and I find is not worth it in this stage. Alright, so this fight's pretty simple. Like, the big thing here is just to keep him in iframes as long as possible. Again, you see that I'm using the dash lemons to do 2 damage. If you did a charge shot, it would also be 2 damage, so there's no utility at all in using charge shots versus him. Okay, so this is a stage that isn't different, but the fight is quite different. normally in an any percent run, you would just use Buster all the way through, and then switch to Boomerang for the very end for the fight. There isn't really anything to do here. So the fight is completely non-random in any percent, basically. There's only differences in how high he goes, and you can catch that just by timing your boomerangs correctly. In the Buster-only fight, though, it's a little bit different. I'm actually going to take this life, because I had a run that I was doing for practice that ended up almost gaming over, and I don't want to do that here. Because, like, the game over was in a position where I would have had to redo 6 minutes of work. Let's not do that here. So yeah, this is Chameleon fight. Chameleon will do one of two things. He'll like hang from the ceiling, or he'll jump up and do a Chameleon sting. I want him to hang from the ceiling as much as possible, because he stays vulnerable longer that way. And then he'll teleport, or like camouflage, and move around and attack you with his tongue and stuff. I don't want him to do that too much, because he tends to stay vulnerable for less time when he's doing that. Although I'm getting kind of good luck. It can be kind of tricky to hit him while he's swinging, just because... Okay, that was a decent fight, for sure. But it can be kind of tricky to hit him while he's swinging, because like when he's off to the left and the right, you can't actually hit him with a jump and a lemon. He's just slightly too high to hit. Okay. This is potentially one of the most dangerous stages, because there's a lot of damage I have to take. Here, these are all enemies that I'd be killing with ice in a normal run, but I can't, because I can't use ice. So it's too slow to try and just kill them all with the Buster. So instead what I do is I damage boost off of one, and use the time to charge a Buster for the next one, which will speed up the kill a little bit. Okay, so now we got the Thunder Slimer fight, and this is the most dangerous boss in all of the Mavericks, I would say. Because it does a ton of damage and moves very quickly. Oh. I guess, like, talk about invincibility frames in this game. There's like 20 different kinds of invincibility frames. There are normal stage enemies, which mostly don't have any invincibility at all. Mini-bosses, which tend to have either 8 or 30 iframes. So, like, Thunder Slimer has 8 iframes, and something like the green robot RT-55J that you fight for the armor capsule. That guy has... I didn't pick up the heart, did I? That makes this a little bit interesting. I don't even remember if I picked up the heart. I guess it doesn't matter that much. Okay, so what I was gonna say is... shoot. Oh yeah, so normal bosses have 60 iframes, except for Penguin, who has 70, for no good reason. Whoops. Wow, this is a really bad fight so far. Alright, let me just close this off. Alright, so normal bosses have 60 iframes except for Penguin, who has 70. And then there are some other weird exceptions, I think, that I can't name off the top of my head, where they have like 24 iframes or something ridiculous like that. So there's a lot to keep track of. That Mandrill fight, you can sometimes get CFO shots kind of like I did with Penguin. But I didn't nail any of them this time. Alright, so Octopus. Another kind of dangerous stage because there's a lot of things that you can take damage from. And a very damaging boss at the end as well, which is not great. So I'm going to be trying to take as little damage as possible. Also, I stayed as far back as possible as well there, because I want to manipulate a certain attack from the subs, but I didn't get the one that I wanted anyways. Deliberately taking some HP there so that I don't die against the boss. I don't think I've ever done that in that pit before. It's relatively common, like, it's not unheard of for even good runners to fall into the spikes right in front, but I think the ones at the back, that's the first time that anybody's ever done that. So there, again, the mini-boss has 8 invincibility frames, so I'm deliberately pacing my shots out to get as many dash lemons as possible. This Uroboros, though, doesn't have any iframes, so I'm going to be double mashing it. That was nice and fast. It has a ton of HP, but you can just keep mashing and be very fast that way. Alright. So I'm gonna mostly not care about how much damage I take, except I've already taken maybe too much. Whoops. Oh no, I'm probably gonna die. That was a really tough pattern to take care of. I don't know. Deaths in this game are costly, but not completely not completely out of control. I've probably lost a minute plus on this stage between the 2 deaths, but it's not like I'm gonna go above estimate for it. There's a couple instances of deaths that cost a lot in this category, though. Just towards the very end of the run. So that's what you normally want to happen with the homing torpedo shots. You just want to make sure that you're corralling them, and you can go just right around and keep hitting them again and again and again. Alright. So that's all the Mavericks down. I'm going to be heading into the fortress now. The fortress strats change a lot more than the Maverick strats did, because you're practically always using a weapon in the fortress. And I am not using any weapons, except for the Buster. So that starts right away with a different strat for doing the Leap of Faith, which is just the way to get up into this fortress as fast as possible. So I'll try and nail it here. There we go. So far, so good. Oh, I'm not going to try it. So I lost my dash there. And so if I'd tried anything fancy, then I probably would have... Oh, shoot. I actually have to kill this guy. Because I miscounted my HP. It's not great. Here, I'm going to be starting... Oh, I didn't even get it. That's too bad. If you can get the first part of this text skip, then it's faster than just going all the way up the ladder. But you can't actually get the entire text skip on the Japanese version if you only have the Buster. You actually need the rolling shield to finish it. So like this part, I wouldn't be able to skip this part no matter what. So missing it is not a big deal. Alright, so now Zero's gonna die, and, spoilers, I guess. Now we're gonna fight Vile. Vile has short iframes, like 30. So it's a really quick fight. Whoops. But only if he cooperates. I've taken a lot of damage, which is not ideal. I have enough, but there's a couple damage boosts that I would normally be doing in the next section that I'm gonna try and find ways around. So now Zero's giving us the Buster upgrade. So it's one of two sort of mandatory upgrades at some point in the game. Alright, so... Oh, shoot. Oh, this is bad. Can't really get around that one. I didn't get HP. Alright, so this is going to be kind of interesting. I can't take any hits here, or else I'm going to get warped back all the way to where we just picked up the Buster. Cool. Alright, so there's lots of enemies in this section, which should help me maybe pick up some HP. Yo, that's exactly what I want. I didn't need that other one. For anybody who's used to only seeing 100% runs, this fight is going to be a little bit more interesting than the normal fight. Bow Spider always takes whatever path, like whatever crossing it comes upon. And it keeps going faster and faster and faster as it takes more damage. So, towards the end of the fight, it's pretty much zipping along, and you have to be very quick on your reads. Fortunately, for somebody who's played the game as long as I have, it's really just instinctual. There's not much else to talk about this. Oh, yeah, except there's one thing about the pink shot, which is interesting. The pink shot does the same damage as the blue charge shot does against bosses, except it's also got this blast wave that comes out around it, and really, like, it's incredibly powerful against normal enemies, but it only does one against bosses. So you want to make sure you never hit a boss with the blast part of that wave. Alright, so that was a pretty easy fight. I ended up not needing any of the HP that I took, but I'm happy that I got it anyways. Alright. Oh. Just let me get myself back set up there. Alright, so you remember how Penguin was such an annoying fight way at the beginning of the run? Well, you come back, and it's the same. You get to do the Buster fight all over again. It's so good. I'm already reading it wrong. It's like, I don't know, something about it makes it different for me, even though it's the same fight. Alright, whatever. Oops. Oh, now I'm kind of low on HP. That's not great. Oops. Accidentally got in the right armor there. I want to have more HP than this if if I can help it. Just because taking a lot of damage on the rank to fight is easy when you're fighting with Buster. So, if another Buster Penguin fight wasn't good enough, here's another Buster Eagle fight. Slides and dives, slides and dives. Oh my goodness. So that's the thing that can happen. Eagle can come down, decide he's had enough, and go right back up for more dives. Partially my fault, because he won't do the landing pattern if he's not above land. And instead will go up and do dives. Taking a deliberate damage boost there, and a non-deliberate boost there. I'm very low HP and might die. Ooh, okay. I can't afford to take any more damage. Oh, that's really rude. Okay. This is where I'm really glad that I took that one up. Because I've had a lot of unfortunate things happen. Alright, so with the Rangda fight, the eyes have 10 HP each, and the nose has 12. Normally this is just like, oh, it's 4 hits each, because you're using a weakness. But it's a little bit more important to keep track. Whoops. A little bit more important to keep track when you're trying to avoid having to do Buster fights against 2 eyes with the walls closed in. Okay. So that's another obnoxious fight done with, which is quite nice. I won't be able to do the the Armadillo skip in this next stage, because that requires putting down an ice sled, so I have to fight Armadillo again. Which you might remember from earlier is pretty obnoxious. Oops. Oh my god, I did it again. This is the nightmare right there. Okay, so now a lot of the really annoying random stuff is done. Although I do still have to fight this guy. But, like, there's nothing left that can stonewall me forever in terms of randomness, so I'm happy about that at least. Okay. So, just like before, I want him to hang around in the corners as much as possible and not be doing this all fight. Okay, that was a little bit weird, but I guess I managed to make it okay. Oops. Oh, I'm not capitalizing on these patterns very well. There again. Okay, I don't really care what he does now anymore. Yeah. Alright. So next up is just refighting Mandrill. I got some HP from a random drop, which is very nice. I want to have as much HP as possible before the octopus fight. And in fact, like, if I'm below full, I'm probably going to take the drop that's freely available. Whoops. Yeah, there's no need to mess around. Whoops. That was not a very good fight either, but I'll take it. Definitely going to take the HP before this next fight. I want as much as possible to not only damage boost against attacks, but also just to have a better chance of surviving outright. Okay, so in a marathon setting, I don't mind this very much, but every time he does the whirlpool attack in a run, it just, like, kills me a little bit inside. It's very safe, though. You're almost never going to take damage when he does that energy drain. Alright, so it's very tough, but I'm going to try and get through the next section damageless. See if I can nail it. Oh, I was a little bit too low. Oh, sorry, too high with my Buster Shot. Okay, so now I'm in trouble for HP because I didn't nail that damageless strat. I shot the shot too high, and they all got, they all went into the laser instead of killing the turret down there. Okay, so this D-Rex fight is super dangerous. I can't take any hits whatsoever. But there's ways to mitigate the danger, so I'll try and show those off. Whoops. Wow. Whoops! That was really bad. If he'd been going a little bit faster, it would have been disastrous. He's not really giving me any opportunities to shoot here. Okay. Ooh. Alright. That was probably the most tense fight of the whole run. And that's done now. So I should be pretty safe to finish the game at this point, as long as I don't beef it on any of the final fights. So there's just 3 fights left to go. The dog fight is pretty simple, but it's a low iframe fight, so you can be very fast if you do it right. Whoops. I forgot to press start to advance the text. Alright, here we go. Oops. That was wrong. Ooh, this is very wrong. And I only have... Do I have 10 HP? Yeah, I think I have 10 HP, which means I did actually get the heart that I thought I did. Okay, so now it's 32 lemons against this guy. Whatever you shoot at him, as long as it's not an electric spark, is only going to do 1 damage, so I just use lemons because it's simplest. Okay. Oops. Wow. So I'm wanting to keep him coming up here so that I can keep using the same strat to put lemons into him. But it's not working out. Okay. In the any percent fight, you can just use electric spark against the walls, and it's a lot easier than doing this. But obviously I don't have electric spark, so there we go. Oops. Okay, so now we just got one final fight left to go. It's going to be kind of tense. I can only take 1 hit from a claw and nothing else. Oh. Okay, so now let's talk about damaging the final boss. You can only damage the final boss with either Rolling Shield or a Pink Shot from the Buster. Pink Shots from the Buster take about 4 seconds to charge up. So with 32 shots of about 4 seconds each, this fight is more than 2 minutes long. Let's see. You can make it a little bit faster, like get the bits of the Pink Shot off screen faster by jumping into the plane of the final boss. But I'm gonna mostly avoid doing that because it's safest for me to just stand on the edge of this claw and only move away when I absolutely have to. Alright. And if I die here, it's like a 4-minute loss, so I really don't want to do that. Barely got clear in time there. The lightning does 12 damage, so it's going to kill me right away. Alright, be nice and patient. Super laggy with the flamethrower and the Pink Shot. On screen at once! Okay, so now I gotta redo all of that. Hopefully with more HP this time. Okay, so let's just redo this fight. Ooh. Okay. I got more HP this time, so it should be a little bit easier to survive. Oops, okay. No problem. Alright, so I got more HP coming in. I can take a hit now, which is going to give me the edge that I need, I hope, to survive. Just a couple minutes of final boss left to go. Okay. Whoops! Fired a little low there. Didn't quite hit him. Okay. Keep it nice and simple here. No jumping if I can help it. One of the things that's less apparent about this fight is that, like, you're holding down the charge button for quite a bit of time, and it actually gets a little bit tiring. Like, if I'm holding down the Y button for so long, and I'm tense, so I'm holding it down a little bit harder than I necessarily need to. So, I usually get pretty sore by the end of a fight. There's no real need to be tense here, though. Like, the run's pretty much over. Just gotta be patient and attentive. Just a handful more charge shots to go. As long as I don't break focus, I should be fine. There again is that leg with the pink shot and the flamethrower on screen at once. It's a lot of sprites. That's a little bit interesting. Alright. That was a little bit interesting as well. Claws are bringing their A game today. 4 charge shots to go. Okay, just 1 shot to go. That's it, 47:29. So, my PB, which is the world record, is 40 minutes and 27 seconds. So, between the 3 or 4 deaths that I took in that run, I lost 7 minutes, which is kind of gross. But if you think about it, probably 3 of that was just the death to the final boss alone. So, whatever. Oh, 4 actually. Jeez. So, that's the Buster-only category for Mega Man X. So, I've got a run of Pugsley's Scavenger Hunt coming up in just a minute or two. I'm going to take a quick moment to just plug the Mega Man RTA leaderboards, which is where all of the leaderboards for Mega Man games are kept for the most part. You can go to megamanleaderboards.net and find them there. Also, I want to plug the fact that there's a Mega Man 3 and a Mega Man X2 tournament going on right now. Both of them are just finishing up group stages, and once this marathon is concluded, they'll be coming into bracket play, which should be interesting to watch. Yeah, other than that, if you want to get into Mega Man X, there's lots of helpful people. Absolutely hit any of us up. People like Louise, myself, Zam, and Hetfield, who were commentating. Hetfield doesn't do so much of runs anymore, but he's always willing to point people in the right direction. I don't know, Crystal Unclear, Baba, tons of people that you could talk to. And so I'm gonna just transition right away into my next run, which is Pugsley's Scavenger Hunt. A game which has very much less in terms of, like, an active community, but which is still an interesting run